Hey guys, this is Paul here. I don't see many videos on actually setting up the green eggs, and I see a lot of questions for them on the Facebook pages and such. It took me time to figure things out and watch videos and, mostly trial and error with these things, but it's absolutely my favorite way to cook now. With that being said, I use these lump coals that I get from a restaurant supplier. Probably sells them to a lot of barbecue restaurants and whatnot. I like these. They're less expensive than the crap they're selling in the stores, especially a lot less expensive than the BGE stuff. I've yet to buy a bag of that just because of the price. Maybe one day I'll get a big paycheck and try one just to see if it's magic. But in these bags, sometimes I get these great big sticks. I think it all comes from Mexico. When I read the bag, I believe it said Mexico. But that's the reason why I have 3 bags sitting here. It's just because, I like to get these. Well, that's not quite a medium-sized piece, but that's a nice chunk. But there are lots of those. And then, I got this little stuff that I don't like to use very much just because it blocks airflow. Sometimes I do when I want a slower cook, but I want it to go on top of other stuff. So, I'm a working guy. I bought this thing during my divorce, as I always wanted. I wanted one for several years, and I got it on Craigslist or something, I think for 220 or 240 bucks. So it was a screaming deal. And I did have the convector and everything with it, but the convector broke during a move, unfortunately. So anyway, I ended up picking up this guy, which I need to clean, but it's cast iron. Use it for pizzas or whatever. So I've been cheating and putting it on top of the grate just because I don't feel like, spending hundreds of dollars to re-up. Although I'd like to get some of the better stuff, especially the 3-tier rack deal. It's actually a ceramic grill company online that sells one that I really want outside of the green egg one that's pretty pricey. But anyhow, so when it comes to this, I don't do the clean burn anymore. Last time I did it, it warped my bolts on the hinge and fried my gasket, which I just replaced like a month ago or so. But I feel that it, I'll scrape down all the big chunks like that. Anything that could get on the food or whatever, I'll clean that much out. And I'll go through all this and just I just want the bigger pieces out of it when I'm done, because all this will reburn. But what I'll do is I'll get all this small junk out, because all it's really doing is restricting airflow, right? So, anything below like probably smaller than 2 inches, I'm gonna get rid of that. I like to make sure all the holes are clean everywhere. So the big thing about these, right, is airflow. It's like a wood stove. It's pulling in air coming up through all these wonderful holes. So I make sure all these are clean. If I've been using it a bit, I'll pull the fire ring out carefully, the firebox and all that stuff, and clean out the bottom of it, and then put it all back in so there's not too much buildup of ash under there. I don't want too much crap in there, because it's all about that airflow, right? So, and I'm kind of lazy, so I've got my egg slid over a little too far, like an inch maybe. It's from the last time I moved this thing. It's hitting the stand bracket thing, but oh well. have a bad back, so I'm not going to try to do that right now. Pick it up, and we all know how much fun that is to try to pick these things up and move them. I know some guys use vacuums for this, which, whatever. Go ahead. That's cool. I don't feel like doing. Then you got to deal with the whole vacuum thing. Bring a vacuum out, plug it in, and then go empty it in the trash and replace the filters and blah blah blah. You know, I'm okay with doing a little bonding here with Mr. Egg and just kind of get in there and pull most of this stuff out. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean. Some people are trying to keep their eggs looking like they're brand new, I guess, which, all right, whatever, you know. This is an old egg. I have no idea how old it is. Like I said, I bought it used like 5 years ago, and we just hit 2025. And the only thing that's cracked or broken was that convector, and it was during a move. Somebody probably threw it down a little too fast or something, and I just didn't feel like buying another ceramic one that could get broken, because that sucks, right? It's like 80 bucks or whatever it is. I don't know what it is now. Maybe with inflation it's 200, I don't know. But I just drive dump trucks, and I don't make a ton of money. I make enough to survive. So this is how I get gourmet steaks and things that I can afford to buy on sale, pieces of meats. Today I'm going to be doing the over-the-top chili thing. Be my third time doing it. I really love it. So I look up those recipes. I use my mom's old recipes from when I was growing up. After she passed, I held on to a couple of her recipe books with some note cards and stuff. So I'd love to look up like a lasagna and things like that I really loved, right? And then I'll make up whatever I can fit. This is a large green egg. I wish I had an XL, but whatever. I managed to fit almost everything on here, even briskets, good sized briskets. But I'll take her recipes like a lasagna or something, meatloafs, things like that I loved, and then I'll kind of tailor them and cook them up on here, smoke them up, and man, that's just the best. Now back to building the firebox. So what I've learned to do is take these pieces that, you know, these aren't going to start as fast or whatever as the new pieces. So what I like to do is not block the holes. I don't want to block that hole, but I'll set it by it. I almost sounded Canadian for a second there. Set it by it. Or maybe that was Australian. Anyway, okay. And what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to be too picky, but I don't want other stuff falling over there and blocking the hole. So I'm using these bigger chunks that are left over to make a base that will still allow airflow. So like this is technically like an inch over that hole on the side. So it's keeping, see that? There's the hole right there. And I'm just going to set that there. So the air is still coming up through there. I'm not blocking those air holes, because that's the biggest trick with these, is learning how to keep that air going through. I know some guys just dump coals on and let it rock and roll. That's fine. You know, if you guys have better techniques to this, then post it or whatever, you know, put it in the comments. That's fine. I like learning from other people. So that's all I'm gonna do is build a base like that. I'm trying not to take too much time doing it, but to me it's better to take a few extra minutes to do something like this. Then now, say even if I want to put some of that small stuff somewhere in the middle of this, or on top for slower smoking, lower temperatures, whatever, so it doesn't burn as fast, right? Then I could do that. Or, so now I'm not so worried. I can just take some of this stuff that I saved and drop it on top. Make a little bed of it here. You're not gonna worry about that crap. So, yeah, we'll just discard that. Screw it. And I'll clean up that mess, obviously, when I get there. But now, I can come over here. Let's say I want, come here. I think these I've been getting for like 26 bucks a bag, and 30 pounds. Where is it? 40. So 40-pound bags that I've been getting, and for like 26 bucks. I mean, I just can't beat it. I haven't seen any of the junk in it. Like, I started out trying the Cowboy brand when I was new at this. Hated them. They're harder to get started. They burned out quicker. Sometimes you get little rocks or nails or whatever, right? Like garbage people show that shouldn't be in there. It's supposed to be food grade product. And this, coming from Mexico, has been pretty darn good. I don't remember seeing any garbage like that so far. Maybe I had one once, but I don't remember. Couldn't tell you. So, you know, when they're selling these to restaurants that do barbecue, so there's some nice hunks. So I'm building off this base with some hunks, and I like to leave these bigger pieces to go on top, and then kind of do the Boy Scout thing on top to get it going, even though I was never a Boy Scout. But you know, you live and you learn, right? So we'll get this sucker built up here. I want some fresh stuff. I'm building a fresh layer here because that stuff will light faster and get this going. Now, a few times I've tried to outsmart everything and use less lumps. In other words, hey, you know, I only wanted to cook a few burgers or something, right? So I just only filled it up like down in here somewhere, halfway. And, oh look, Diesel the Catahoula, she's digging in a planter box. Isn't that nice? Get out of there. Yeah, well, dogs will be dogs, right? So, she's a 5-year-old. She's my buddy, 5-year-old purebred Catahoula. And as much as a pain in the butt as she is, I love her to death. So, that's what I'm going to do here is just get a decent layer. So now I'm getting towards, I mean, I don't want to go past very high here, right? Because I need room for my grate, obviously. So now I'll put some bigger pieces. My daughter's calling, so I better reconvene, but I'm going to put some bigger sticks on top and then my fire starters underneath those and light it and get it going. And I want it up fairly high.